Morning children. Today we are beginning with the lesson that is the history part. Now I know that this year you have this SST book. Okay, in SST book if you look in the index part you will find three things. One is the history, the second part is your geography part, and the third part is the social and political life, or we can call it civics also. Now in history part, we are beginning with the history part. There are many lessons here, but we'll study all these chapters. The course is more. Okay. And if you find any difficulty, you may ask me. I tell you about the making of the notebooks and the other things when I take the live session. Today we are beginning with lesson number 1, that is the history, when, where and how. Now, history, when, where and how. What is history? That is important. What is history? It is the study of the past. You all know very well. Whatever is past, that becomes the history. And why now? What is the use? Is this history? Why we should study about this history? Now in this chapter we are going to study about when, where and how. History means when it happened, when suppose any incident is there, history of any incident. So we'll study about when this incident it occurred in the past, where it happened or what happened, how that occurred. Now the another question that is that comes to our mind, what is that why we study about history? What is the reason behind studying of history? Normally what happens, past and present are inseparable. Now what is the reason? Reason is given here because number one is it shapes the past, shapes the future. History shapes our future because we sometimes what happens, we learn from our mistakes, whatever has happened in the past, and then we learn from our mistake and we do not repeat that in future. So it shapes help us to shaping our future in a better way. It helps us to understand change and how it came about. Sometimes some changes occurred, something happened in history and how that change occurred. Like for example, if we take the example of invention of wheel, how that wheel was invented and what changes take place in the society with that, with the invention of that wheel. Simple small thing, the machines were developed, many means of transportations were developed, all these things were developed. So this is also this that's why there is a need to study history. So things around us just did not happen. They happened over time. We cannot understand the things the way of the life today unless we know how they develop. When you are reading this book, you are using paper. Now another question arises. Where has this paper come from? Who was the first to make paper? So the answer is the Egyptians were the first to start the art of paper making sometimes around 3500 BCE. It was made from which reeds of papyrus reeds. The word paper is derived from the word papyrus itself. A person who studies history is known as historian. So this is all about history. What is history? Study. It is the study of past and why we should study history. Now there are three terms. You have to learn all these three terms: history, proto-history and prehistory, because there is a question at the backside exercise that what is the difference between all these three types of words. Now history of men started when man learned how to write, because history started at the time because we started keeping the records. Men started keeping the records, so that time history started. They began to keep records of the times. This period is known as history. proto-history, it is the time period for which we have written records, but they are few and still cannot be read. Means those type of history where, like for example, written something in different language on any cave or on any stone, but we do not know what type of language it was, still it cannot be read. So that history is known as proto history. And the time before man began writing, that is known as prehistoric era. Prehistory is the period that begins with the appearance of human beings about 5 million years ago and ends with the invention of writing. So this is the period when the people, they did not know how to write. So that is known as prehistory. And when we have the record, but few records, and we do not know what is written in that, that is the proto history. And history when we started keeping records. Now the next topic is where humans lived in India. So many geographical locations in India were inhabited by early settlers. Humans began settlements near river. So this is, you all should know that where the human beings started settling. They started settling down near the rivers. Because why they started settling down near the rivers? Because they needed water. Because water is essential um, for all our basic, it is one of the basic necessity of ours. So therefore this gave them access to water. That's why they started living near the river. So historians have identified many such sites like near the river. Now here the banks of the river Narmada were inhabited by humans. So Narmada river. Now where is Narmada river? You can see here in the map this place here. This is the river Narmada, which is going like this here. I am telling you the region only. In this map it's not shown, it's not shown, but I can show you. Narmada is here only. This is the river Narmada, Vindhya range, near the Vindhya range. You can see in your book. So this place. So near the river Narmada, what they found? The banks of the river Narmada were inhabited by humans thousands of years ago. Many human beings, they lived near this bank, and they were called hunter-gatherers. You've studied about hunter-gatherers earlier. They hunted wild animals. Why they called hunter-gatherers? Because they hunted wild animals for food. And they gathered what? Gathered means to collect. Gathered what? Fruits, leaves and seeds, or dug up roots of plants for their food. The Kirthar and Suleiman Hills are the areas where humans first began growing crops about 8,000 years ago. They grew wheat and barley and also began domesticating animals. The Vindhyas, these are the different areas they are telling. Kirthar and Suleiman Hills, like near the river Narmada. Then the third is the Vindhyas in the central India, this part, central India part, close to the Narmada river, and the Garo hills in the northeast. Garo hills here, northeast. It show the evidence of the development of agriculture. It is here that the rice was first cultivated. Humans also lived near the river Indus and its tributaries. They also lived near the river Indus is here. This part, Pakistan, which is in Pakistan, this part. So they live near river Indus and its tributaries. In fact, it is here that the first cities came to about 4700 years ago. And there is a evidence the cities were established near the river Ganga and tributaries about 2500 years ago. Even large kingdoms came up near the rivers. Magad was one such large kingdom which grew near the river Son. So now next is geographical framework. So we'll do geographical framework also today. The history of a place is shaped by the location and geography of the particular place. The physical feature of the Indian subcontinent have greatly influenced its history. Now in India, before starting with geographical this thing, I tell you that India, this whole part, this where I am moving my pen, this is covered by mountains. This region is covered by mountains. Then we have this yellow part that you can see. Yellow part, this is the plateau region. Plateau is the just like tableland area. The green part which you can see, this part is what these are the plain regions. Here also this is the eastern coastal plain near the coast, and this is the western coastal plain. So we have geography wise also India has different kind of land areas, like we have the mountainous area, we have the plateau region, we have the plain region, we have the desert area here, we have the island groups Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Island. So India has mountains, plains, plateaus and sea coast. The Himalayas have acted as a barrier in the north for foreign invaders. The numerous rivers of India led to the rise of human settlements around them. The Harappan civilization flourished around the river Indus. The Indo-Gangetic plains lying between the Indus and Ganges saw the rise of many powerful kingdoms and empires. The coastal plains have been centers of trade and commerce since ancient times. There was an enormous exchange of ideas, cultures, and traditions. Besides merchandise, this resulted in the development of the unique yet diverse culture. So, what is there? कि they have told कि जो Himalayas हैं, they acted like a barrier. Means we are protected due to Himalayas. Nobody can enter India through this side, can attack India easily because Himalayas are there. Okay, we are in danger position from Pakistan, normally from Pakistan. And from here India is surrounded by water from all three sides. So here also we are safe because nobody can bring their army and attack on India through these places. Then next is there are so many numerous rivers are there, like river Indus, it is going to many tributaries are going and going to Pakistan. Then river Ganga is here, river Brahmaputra we have here, we have river Narmada, we have Tapi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Okay, all these, there are numerous, so many rivers are there in India that human settlements, they started rising near the India. Harappan civilization also flourished. Harappan civilization, which we are going to study in the next chapter, that will flourish over here. The Indo-Gangetic plains lying between Indus and Ganges, Indo-Gangetic plain here. Okay, so this lies over here. There are also so many rivers are there, so many powerful kingdoms and empires are there that we are going to study later on. So next is the earliest names of India. That also, India has been known by different names, many names in the past. About 2500 years ago, the Greeks who came in from the northwest crossed the river Indus, which they called Hindus or Indos. The land beyond the river began to be called India. The name Bharat has been used in the Rig Veda. We got the name Bharat because this name is used in the Rig Veda. It was named after the king Bharat, who was the famous ruler. So till here, children, read the chapter again. Try to understand. I'll take the live session also as soon as we complete this, and I take your problems, and I also let you know how you have to maintain your notebooks. Then sources of history, that we'll do later on. Thank you.